What's up, you guys? Jalen Hawk here, as always, bringing weekly anime manga reviews, and I'm here with another video. So today we're actually going to be talking about One Punch Man. Surprisingly enough, I'm not talking about Tokyo Ghoul today, mainly because, one, I'm kind of burnt out of Tokyo Ghoul, so I don't really want to make a Tokyo Ghoul video for the rest of the week, but who knows, maybe my mood will change as the time goes by. But I want to talk about One Punch Man, because One Punch Man is one of my favorite series that is currently airing as right now, or going on in terms of manga, and I feel like I don't really get to talk about it enough. I bring it up a lot in my Discord and on streams about how big of a fan I am of it, and I kind of felt like maybe I should do a One Punch Man video just to see how it does and what people think of it, but today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite anime characters of all time, as well as my favorite character in One Punch Man, being Speed of Sound Sonic. We're going to be going over not necessarily like the full-on mathematics and all that stuff of how fast Speed of Sound Sonic is, because in reality, math is not my thing and I don't really want to do that. So you could probably go on like the Versus Wiki or some other person who likes to do that type of calculation type stuff of how fast Sonic is on another video, but I can definitely strongly say that Speed of Sound Sonic is probably one of the fastest characters in One Punch Man, but I wouldn't say that he's the fastest, because I mean, you have characters like Saitama, Boros, Garo, and even Flashy Flash, who are definitely way faster than Sonic. So yeah, now, Speed of Sound Sonic, he's really cool to me. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that many showings in the entirety of the story. For the most part, we only see him have small altercations with characters who are usually vastly stronger than him, like in the case of Saitama, or when he ends up confronting both Gale Wind and Hellfire Flame. And we're probably going to have to use those instances, as well as his fights with Genos and even the Deep Sea King, to get an accurate measure of how strong Sonic actually is. So let's get into that right now. So, for people who aren't super familiar with One Punch Man, but I'm pretty sure most people in the One Punch Man community already know about this, when it comes to measuring people based off of the tierings that are given within the series, whether you're measuring heroes and, comparing them to other heroes, and you're like, okay, what class would they fit in, C class, B class, A class, or S class, or if you're looking at monsters in terms of, okay, are they a demon, are they a tiger, a wolf, dragon, above dragon, god, etc. Where exactly do they lie? When it comes to all the tierings, there seems to be like tierings inside of those own tierings, mainly when it portrays to both dragon and demon. There seems to be people that you can there's several different people in the series that we've seen get the title of demon or dragon, right? But when it comes to those tierings, it seems like that not all demons and not all dragons are accurately the same, because, for example, spoiler alert, if you're reading the most recent chapter of the One Punch Man manga with Phoenix Man, he is considered a dragon level monster, but if we're being real, he's probably not on the same level as someone like the current Garo that we see fight against Orochi, or even a different dragon who would be someone like either the meteor that tried to crash on the city in the earlier episodes of the One Punch Man anime, or even someone like Carnage Kabuto, at least when he's in his full-blown Carnage mode. Phoenix Man's most likely not as strong as them, and if he is, he's not as strong as them, but he's probably not like super far off either. So I don't really think that at least Carnage Kabuto, but when it comes to overall scaling, I kind of feel like realistically, when it comes to scaling these characters, we should probably scale them like that. Like, okay, they're like a mid dragon or a low dragon or something on those lines. Now, when it comes to Speed of Sound Sonic, I don't think as of yet he's actually gotten an official rating by the Hero Association, but it's very apparent to me that he would most likely be considered a high demon, either a mid to high demon, or at least if you are comparing to the S class, he would most likely be very low tier on the S class. Now, this isn't for me to say that he's weak, because realistically, nobody in the S class are weak, and even the top tier people in the A class are not weak either, because, for example, Amaya Mask, he's A class number 1, but realistically, we know that he would probably be mid to high S class if he actually decided to move up in their ranks. And we also do know that the S class, in terms of like their rankings, not all of them are based off of power. Like obviously someone like Blast or Tatsumaki, them being at the tippy top makes sense when it comes to their power, but a lot of it's based off of popularity, the way how the public perceives them, how efficiently they're good at their job, and stuff like that. Because I think someone like Metal Bat is actually ranked relatively low, as well as Flashy Flash, even though realistically they would probably be a lot higher on the list. I'm not going to necessarily say how high on the list because I'm not really sure when it comes to scaling the other S-Class heroes, and I feel like that's way too complicated to do, but we know that they're very strong, at least among the S-Class, because, you know, there's statements about it. Now, when it comes to speed of sound Sonic, I do believe that he is around the same level as someone like Genos, at least prior to him getting the upgrades that we see currently in the Monster Association arc, when they're about to raid the hideout, and also probably prior to Genos's altercation with a weakened version of Garo. The only reason why I say this is because at the very beginning of the Garo arc, we actually get to see, you know, both Genos and Sonic confront one another and fight each other, and it seems like that Genos has the slight lead, if not Sonic was about to turn the tables. And I mean, I think there was even a statement by Murata or One, I'm not exactly sure who it was, that said that if Genos and Sonic did fight for real and they were going full on out at each other with the intent to kill, it would end up in a stalemate. In that fight, I felt like it really did kind of come across that way, that either one or the other would end up winning or would just end up being a draw, because most of their attacks that they're doing were canceling each other out, and it just seemed like a very back and forth fight where no one was really getting the definitive edge. So that's kind of my thoughts when it comes to that. Now, one thing I do also want to say when it comes to Sonic is Sonic definitely isn't weak. I mean, even if you look at the whole entire altercation that he has with both Gale and Hellfire Flame, I've always believed that Hellfire and Gale are kind of the pinnacle of what a demon class monster is supposed to be, at least when it comes to their base, because we know that when they're in their actual monster forms, they are like dragon, most likely like low to mid dragon, if we're being real. But we see that they're very impressive. I mean, they're from the golden age, if I'm not mistaken, of the Ninja Village, and we also do know that Speed of Sound Sonic is from the 44th generation of ninjas from the village, which is Toad End, and he's the only other person who happened to end up surviving from that generation, aside from Flashy Flash, which we are not really sure about the details of what exactly happened there. We still haven't gotten that revealed as of yet, at least within the manga, because I don't read the webcomic, but the things that I've always, because I've seen people talk about this quite a bit when it comes to Sonic as well as Flashy Flash, like why exactly is Sonic the only one that's currently still alive? Is he able to go against Flashy Flash? I'm just gonna be flat out honest, Flashy Flash would probably whoop Sonic in a fight, very similar to the way that happened with Galewind and Hellfire. Even though they were able to do damage against him, that was, like, we get the reveal at the very end that Flashy Flash was like, well, I just wanted to get rid of both of you in one go, because if one of you guys managed to escape, that would be troublesome for the other heroes, so I kind of let you guys beat up on me a little bit. But I feel like what ended up really happening when it came to the Ninja Village is probably either the other people in that generation wanted to get rid of Flashy Flash because he was probably at the very top of, like, the tiering, the food chain, out of how, I guess, good he was. And then Flashy Flash ended up killing him, and Sonic was probably the only one that was like, no, I'm not going to try to kill him. I don't really care about that, because Sonic's pretty nonchalant about stuff like that. The only people that we actually see him legitimately want to kill, if he's not getting paid to do it, is someone like Saitama. So he probably wasn't interested in Flashy Flash at all. Another thing that could have also ended up happening, which I don't think the theory about him fighting off against him is right. It could have been possible that maybe Sonic just wasn't there when everything went down. So, which I guess kind of ties it back into the first thing. I feel like that's more likely. I feel like it was more of like a gag type thing than actually him taking on Flashy Flash and surviving and escaping with barely his life, because Sonic doesn't seem to have any type of animosity towards him in comparison to the way how Galewind and Hellfire Flame seem to want to. And you even have where Flashy Flash like goes on this spiel talking about how pretty much, you know, there have been assassins sent against him from other ninja villages as well as his own that try to kill him, and he's just dealt with them constantly, which really does make me wonder, like, is Flashy Flash really the best person to be a hero? Because he doesn't seem to feel any type of remorse for killing all these people, but whatever. The heroes in One Punch Man, in comparison to like heroes in like something like My Hero Academia or even comics, are very different. One Punch Man heroes don't really seem to have a super strong sense of justice, at least not all of them. Like in the case with like Tatsumaki, where she's kind of like, I do whatever I want. So yeah, but back to the video at hand, I kind of got off track. I feel like when you look at Sonic and how he wasn't really able to do anything against Gale or Flame, then again, he was also getting tag team, and it seemed like they worked very well as a duo and not necessarily individually. I don't really think that Sonic would have been able to defeat them at that point in time, though. If you look at the previous sketches prior to him, prior to Murata actually changing the way how the chapter was, there's actually a scene where Sonic like throws his exploding shurikens and pretty much Galewind just catches it and throws it right back. So, I mean, if you actually want to consider that into consideration, or put that into consideration, I guess it's possible that he wouldn't be able to do anything against them. Whereas in the what we actually got in the chapter, they were like, Sonic wasn't really taking too much damage. Like, he wasn't getting bodied, but he wasn't really doing any damage either, and Gale seemed relatively calm, and Sonic, I guess, was too. He was cocky until Gale transformed, and then he was just like, yeah, nah, I can't do nothing, I'm done. So, yeah, one thing I also do want to bring up when it comes to Sonic is there's actually a statement from Sonic in his altercation with the Deep Sea King that he felt like that he was very, like, he seemed very confident that he can take out the Deep Sea King if he had all of his weapons. Now, I don't really know if you can chalk that up to Sonic just being very overconfident, which he has showcased himself to be, especially looking at how many times he felt confident that he's going to be able to take down someone like Saitama, or if that's actually a legitimate thing, because I've always felt like that the Deep Sea King, when he's in his, you know, full-on awakened form like that we see fight Genos and even scare off Sonic, that's probably either the pinnacle of demon or like a low-tier dragon, a very low-tier dragon. I'm not really sure. I guess that's kind of up for your guys' debate in the comment section where exactly the Deep Sea King scales in that regard, but Deep Sea King was a demon level monster, and Sonic wasn't able to beat it without his weapons. With his weapons, it might be different. So yeah. Now, like I said before in the beginning of the video, I do feel like he would be most likely among the S-class ranked people. He'd probably be able to take out some of the weaker ones like Child Emperor, not considering his, I believe it's called the Brave Knight, the form that he just released as of recently. Just base Child Emperor he can probably take out. Tank Top Master, most likely. Puri Puri Prisoner as well. And probably Zombie Man, people like that. I feel like he'd be around the same level as someone like Genos, but probably below him, especially with the upgrades that Genos got as of recently. So, yeah, that's probably where I'd scale Sonic. So definitely a really powerful character, but not super outlandishly, you know, strong in comparison to characters like Garo or Metal Bat. Well, actually, Sonic vs. Metal Bat would be a pretty cool fight until Metal Bat gets pumped up and it's over. But anyways, that's kind of all I have for this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe as always. I love you all. Jalen Hawk signing out. And also comment down below what characters you want me to talk about, how strong they are, or even just other One Punch Man topics you might want me to talk about in the future. And anyways, thank you for watching. Jalen Hawk as always, signing out. See you guys.